Yo.
Yo, did you watch that shit?
Hey, you know what's crazy is if you had FaceTime me right now, I'm literally recording my reaction to the shit. Like right now, my camera's on and everything.
Yo, bro, I killed him.
Hey, what's happening, YouTube fam? I want to welcome you to Lil J Show. Of course, I am Lil J. Hope everybody's having a wonderful and blessed day today. Hope it's going absolutely amazing for you all. Today, I'm doing a reaction to a reaction. 1090 Jake, he's actually talking about 6ix9ine and Big Bank's interview. Shout out to 1090. He's a good, he got a good content creator, I think his page or whatever it's called in the Senate. So if y'all don't know nothing about this man, which of course I'm pretty sure everybody does, go check him out. But shout out to him. But he's not only him, but everybody is saying that 6ix9ine absolutely destroys Bank in this interview. So we're gonna check it out. So I'm gonna react to his reacts, or just react to his video, basically, and chop it up on the other side and in between. You feel me? So let's check it out.
6ix9ine just sat down with an Atlanta OG by the name of Big Bank. If you haven't heard of him, he's the one who conducted the only interview with Young Thug after Young Thug's snitching allegations came out. Now, Big Bank is highly respected in Atlanta, and I'm gonna be honest with you, in my opinion, 6ix9ine absolutely destroys him through this conversation by pointing out the hypocrisy, by pointing out the contradictions of how not just Big Bank, but the entire hip-hop community will side with their favorite rat while everyone turned on 6ix9ine for doing the exact same thing. Now I'm gonna be reacting obviously to this interview, which falls under fair use when it comes to copyright because this is YouTube, I'm providing commentary, etc. But I have heard that Big Bang, like you, stay more on top of their finances.
We're gonna get right into it. Why you wake up with on your mind? That's what I wanna know.
When I wake up, right? I don't wake up with on my mind. I wake up me responding to right? I'm from New York. I feel like a lot of rappers, they wake up and mention 6ix9ine, they not from New York. When Meek Mill mentioned me, right? When Meek Mill mentioned me, he not from New York. When Lil Durk mentioned me, he not from New York. When King Von mentioned me, he not from New York. When 21 Savage mentioned me, he not from New York.
I'll say this off top, that's a cop-out. Saying, why do you wake up with black people on your mind, when really what you're getting at is, why are you talking about us? You're Mexican, you should only be talking about your people. He's in hip-hop. Hip-hop has been for everybody since it started. It was founded by black people. There's also a big debate on how influential the Puerto Ricans were when it came to creating hip-hop. But trying to tell somebody you're Mexican, you can only speak on Mexicans, is the same thing they tell me, you're white, only speak on white people. I speak on crime and hip-hop. And unfortunately, my face isn't gonna be the biggest topic of conversation, but I also cater to my audience. It's the same thing. When 6ix9ine came out, he was around all black people, so he...
I can say this right here. 6ix9ine has been going really hard ever since this situation happened. He's been going hard at it. And then he even just really went all the way. I mean, he just went out when the Young Thug case and Gunna happened, and basically saying, why are y'all not shunning them when, you know what I'm saying, y'all basically just wanted to just count me out just because of what happened and what I did. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the man got a point. Why are you gonna sit up there and call me this rat and put, emojis or whatever, put these big old, post me with my body and put a big rat face on me and all that stuff. But then when it happens to other people that in the same profession as me, y'all half-ass do it to them. So I can feel him on that. I really can. And I'm gonna kind of look at the stuff that did happen to 6ix9ine. You know what I mean? And really, basically, man, if that would have happened to me, I really feel like anybody, they would have done the same thing that he did.
Feels comfortable in that space, and to silence him by saying, oh well, you're not this, so you shouldn't be speaking on this, I think is BS.
Why do they got an opinion on my life, my case, not being from New York or having anything to do with my case? You know what I mean?
in the same rap shit, though.
Yeah. So I'm not.
He just proved my point. 6ix9ine said, why are they speaking on me and they're not from my city? Bank said, well, because y'all are all rappers. Okay, so then why can't 6ix9ine speak on them?
Right.
It's the same shit.
In the same rap shit, so they can and I can't. You get it? So it's not like me waking up and saying why I'm waking up with on my mind. They mention me first, so like when I got the right to defend myself, or is it only like a one-sided thing?
You just overdo it to me. You know, I'm gonna keep it a brick with you, just overdo it.
All right, so there's rules to like levels now. I never mentioned 21 Savage, but this is what he had to say on the Big Bang Show.
So one of the first contradictions that 6ix9ine will point out is this interview with Big Bank that he did with 21 Savage, because apparently 6ix9ine never mentioned 21 Savage, but Savage brought him up in the interview and he responded, which is 6ix9ine's point. How do I wake up with people on my mind when they talk about me and all I do is react? And Bank would say, yeah, but you do too much. You react too much. And 6ix9ine would come back with, there's a fucking limit to how much I can defend myself. And it's just like, I'll be honest with you, I think Bank realized early on that he is talking to somebody that's going to pick apart every single contradiction, and Bank is gonna look somewhat like a hater because you're not gonna see him agree with 6ix9ine based on the fact that obviously 21 Savage is his boy, so was a lot of these Atlanta rappers, and he's just not going to allow himself to agree with 6ix9ine no matter how much 6ix9ine is making sense.
21 Savage in the United States right now.
What do you mean?
How's he here?
What do you mean? What's your point?
He's not from here. He's the facade.
That don't make you no facade because you're not from America.
All right, so watch this.
But what's this gonna prove though? Like what's this gonna prove? That's what I'm saying. Like what is this gonna prove though? What you saying?
Now the fact that 6ix9ine has a whole PowerPoint presentation for this interview is hilarious, right? And what he's showing on the screen, and basically what he's saying is, you know, y'all are saying that I'm a facade, that I'm not real. I'm really from New York City. I really grew up in this. And he's saying 21 Savage is from the UK. Bank is, well, what does that prove? How is he even in the US? And now 6ix9ine is pointing out that 21 Savage has a U visa. A U visa, for those that don't know, is basically a way for immigrants to stay in the country if they've been a victim of a violent crime in the US. It's kind of like, hey, you came here visiting and got shot and we feel bad, so we're gonna let you stay here as an apology. We're not gonna give you money, but we'll let you stay here. Like, our bad, you know. Streets is kind of crazy over here, but our bad. Now, this is the Department of Homeland Security, US Citizenship and Immigration Services website. And it would break down victims of criminal activity, U non-immigrant status. The U non-immigrant status U visa is set aside for victims of certain crimes who have suffered mental or physical abuse and are helpful to law enforcement or government officials in the investigation or prosecution of criminal activity. The legislation was intended to strengthen the ability of law enforcement agencies to investigate and prosecute cases of domestic violence, assault, trafficking of aliens, and other crimes, while also protecting victims of crimes who have suffered substantial or mental or physical abuse due to the crime and are willing to help law enforcement authorities in the investigation or prosecution of the criminal activity. What 6ix9ine is getting at in this interview isn't the fact that 21 Savage just has a U visa. It's the fact that one of the most infamous stories in 21 Savage's lore is he was shot on his birthday and a close friend of his died. Savage almost lost his life as well. This is the reason Savage was able to get his U visa and not be deported, because he was a victim in this crime. And by definition, what the U visa is defined as is giving citizenship to a victim of a crime who helped with the investigation and or prosecution of the person who committed that crime. So 6ix9ine isn't really saying, oh, he must have snitched. The U visa's definition is saying he cooperated in some sense. That's
So basically, 21 Savage like, I don't want to go back to the UK. Yeah, I whatever y'all need me to say, I'm gonna say it. I don't want to go back to the UK. I want to stay in the United States. So yeah, this A, B, and C did this. I almost lost my life. So basically, that's telling. So basically, he ratted. He snitched. I mean, common sense. Because he didn't want to go back to the UK. He didn't want to get deported. So he told and got his citizenship stamped and approved by the U.S. government because he talked. He said something because he's a citizen now. Right or wrong?
It's literally what the U visa definition is. If you want to get it, you have to help with the investigation.
There you go.
And the thing is, the paperwork has never been released publicly for anyone to see what 21 Savage said that was able to get his U visa approved. But 6ix9ine is pointing out that contradiction. Y'all are calling me a rat, but your homie's only in the country because he cooperated to get a U visa. No one's ever seen it. Nobody else makes comments about it. But that's the reality of the conversation we're facing.
Does
But nobody's
21
talking
Savage
about
have a U visa? How is he in the United States right now? And are helpful to law enforcement in investigation or prosecution of that criminal activity. This is a fact, though.
But what they got to do with anything, though? I'm saying, what are you saying? What's the point, though? What's the point?
Now, all that right there. But what that got to do with anything, though? I'm saying, though, what's the point, though? He just showed you that your homie has a U visa, and the definition of a U visa is saying, and I'm going to read it while we talk about this. When the victim is helpful to law enforcement in the investigation or prosecution of that criminal activity, which would be the violent crime that makes them able to get a U visa. And Banks' response was, I don't know what that is. I never heard of it. What does that mean, though? What are you trying to say? He's telling you what he's trying to say. You just ain't processing it.
You saying he was a victim?
I mean,
A lot of people be victims who have suffered from certain crimes,
okay,
basically,
now,
right?
but don't finish there. This is the key word right here. Read that slowly for me. Now read it out loud. Let people and
Physical abuse or
physical abuse, mental or physical abuse, and are helpful to law enforcement in the investigation of what you gonna ignore that? That's what he got right now.
Look at him. He just said he don't want to read it. He don't want to read the rest of the definition of a U visa because it makes his homie look bad. And this is the contradiction 6ix9ine's pointing out. The man read the whole top half of the paragraph. We know Bank can read. He ain't stupid. And he refused to read the rest of that paragraph because he will not accept anything that makes his people look bad. And this is the whole reason 6ix9ine wanted to have this sit down to point out these contradictions in real time.
Like, you can't even talk about these.
Bank,
Bro, I don't want to talk. I'm trying to ask you questions.
Nah, but I know, Bank, but listen to me. I know it's hard to believe. I know it's like tough. I know it's like, damn, like I don't want now looking into this. 21 Savage here on a U visa. Y'all is not like that. They not.
You think you like that though? I'm asking.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because I'm the only that did what I did, right? Sat on that stand and came out and wore it. I came out and
But
said,
is you really wearing it though?
There's no way that 6ix9ine isn't wearing it. I mean, I remember when he first came home and like TMZ or whoever walking up to him and like, yo, how does it feel to have ratted or investigated or whoever? It might have been just like a random fan that asked him. He was like, oh, I feel like Batman, you know, putting away bad people and shit. He's always worn it. And that's the difference between him and a lot of other rappers. A lot of these other rappers will deny it to this day that what they did was snitching versus he flat out said it and he knew there's nothing I can do to change people's minds. I'm just gonna embrace this shit. But then he weaponized it and said, okay, if y'all are gonna come down on me this hard for being a rapper that snitched, I'm gonna point out all of these other rappers that snitched and let's see if y'all pick and choose, which they did. 6ix9ine.
And see, that's the thing too, like once they put that jacket on him and they label him as that, man, what was it, like 2 years or better? They kept, I mean, they was going at that man hard. Like, man, it was so bad. Like, I thought, boy, they was gonna probably find him somewhere, you know what I'm saying, gone, where he ended his life. Because, I mean, it had to be 2 years or better. I mean, it was songs, like, people was just rapping about it. Every time you look on YouTube or somebody's doing an interview, they like talking about what he did. But the stuff that happened to him, man, I would have done the same damn thing too. Like, you sitting up here, you got these boys out of the gutter. Got, like I say, you got them out the trenches, man. You lacing them up, putting money in their pocket, probably copping whips. You know what I'm saying? They going to the fanciest places, and you know what I'm saying, that's the money. And then you gonna turn around and try to and do me like that. I think one of them ended up trying to sleeping with his baby's mama or something like that, his girl. But you supposed to be my homie. You supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, you supposed to be my ace, and I'm lacing you up. I'm putting money in your pocket. You gonna do me like that? But we gonna look up what they all did to this young man though. But they did, man. They went hard at him, man, for a good while before he actually got out and just started exposing everybody. And then, yeah, Banks say he do too much. The people in New York, they loud anyways. You know what I'm saying? So of course, man, he went hard. I don't know what made him do it, but when he started coming out and started exposing a lot of people, yes, he went real hard, and he stayed on it, man. He stayed on it. Only thing that I didn't like is where he was trolling Dirk. You know what I'm saying? I know Dirk talked about him and stuff, where he was trolling Dirk about sliding for Vaughn. That's the only thing, but everything else, man, I really feel like, man, shit, he kind of like, he's basically saying, I'm not the only one that would do it or that did it. There's other people in this industry that has done way worse and said way worse than me. And now that I do it, y'all, it's a problem. Y'all are basically blackballing me, shutting me out because of what I did. My man, I think he had a perfectly good reason to do what he did.
Lines lasted long enough to point out the contradictions of hip-hop picking their favorite rats, to the point now that he's making a comeback because it doesn't make any sense to hold the shit against him when all these other rappers have gotten passes, and these are the most gangster rappers that we can think of. So it's like, damn, he's proving his point.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you make your point 100% on this podcast and everybody be like, you know what, he right.
I'm right. You know what they gonna say in the comments? Yo, damn, it's the right message, wrong message. Bank, you're not hearing him though. I'm telling you what they gonna say.
No, I get what you're saying.
That's exactly what they're gonna say. The reason they're gonna say that is because nobody wants to side with 6ix9ine. 100%. That's the reason that they're gonna say that. And a lot of these people don't want to do that because they feel like it'll have an effect on their career, because he was essentially blackballed when in reality he really hasn't been blackballed. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the Gunna situation, which is why he's going to bring up the tweet in the background right here from 21 Savage adding Gunna and Young Thug, who both have some serious allegations.
Gunna, Young Thug, y'all fix that shit. Y'all love each other. You knew Gunna wasn't no gangster when he told the first time. When he told the first time. And we swept it under the rug for you. We swept that under the rug for you. You know he wasn't trying to leave you to hang the streets. So why couldn't it be the streets when I did what I did? When they did me dirty. But y'all sweep y'all rat under the rug.
So you want to be accepted by basically. No.
So that's the thing, right? It's a deflection. What Big Bang did right there was deflect. 6ix9ine asked him, here's a clear example of everyone knowing Gunna snitched, and 6ix9ine telling Thug, look, we knew Gunna snitched and wasn't like that when he snitched the first time. So 6ix9ine is saying, if it can be fuck the streets for Gunna, why wasn't it fuck the streets for me? And instead of Bank being like, you know what, that makes sense, or you know what, yeah, Gunna should have been put in the same boat, he's saying, oh, you just want to be accepted like Gunna. No, he's asking, why wasn't the same energy held when it was your people instead of me? And I feel like it's easier to pick on who you view as the outsider or the weaker person than it is to politic on your own people. Because alienating Gunna, who is still highly successful, if not the most successful person in this conversation, it's gonna be a whole lot harder to do than it is alienating 6ix9ine, right? And when you make that move against Gunna, you're taking a hit on your career. So this is the thing, realistically speaking, a lot of people feel like they would take a hit on their career if they side with 6ix9ine. A lot more people feel like they would take a hit on their career if they side against Gunna. Does that make sense? That's why a lot of people never really wanted to say nothing. And then the whole fuck the streets and we should all get together. Yeah, because Gunna, that shit didn't affect him. So now y'all want features and to come back so everybody can keep making money and acting like shit didn't happen.
Right.
Now that was the video of Gunna literally snitching on CNN, Crime Stoppers, whatever.
Let police do their job.
Hold on, babe. My bad. Hold. You asked me a question. Bro, you can stop hitting that bullshit, bro. He just walked that thing down, bro. You just showed the video. Hold up.
You said Gunna didn't tell the first.
He's got a button that says, I walk shit down. But again, Big Bank is not gonna agree with him at any point in time in this conversation because he cannot feel like he let 6ix9ine get a win in this. He's not gonna agree with nothing. 6ix9ine can show him flat out, look, the man is on TV snitching. And Banks gonna be like, but hold on, you doing too much. Like what?
But wait a minute, see now, that right there, where he did that little interview on the news. Gunna. He did that little interview on the news. Or Crime Stoppers or whatever it was. Now, yeah, I feel like that was talking. But this last incident where he was in court and he was agreeing to certain things, man, I really believe, I don't think that was him telling on nobody, man. I really think my man was trying to get out. And then if Thug had enough sense, he could have just let that go because at least one of them was getting out where one of them can continue to make money, you know what I'm saying? Help with the lawyer fees and whatever other fees they got, you know what I'm saying? He got out and he went hard, you know what I'm saying? Then next thing you know, Thug is online and saying F him, F this, and who is gonna win, you know, that's your partner. Y'all been cool from ever since. But instead of Thug like accepting it and like, all right, bet you at least you getting out, you know what I'm saying? You can continue to, to push the movement, you know what I mean? And make this money because we got fees, whatever. He decides to try to turn everybody against Gunna. And it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like it really helped Gunna. It helped Gunna in his career. You know what I'm saying? But that I just don't feel like that. Maybe this one right here where he was on Crime Stoppers or whatever, telling about the color of the hoodies and all that stuff. Maybe that was a little telling on somebody. But this, where he was in court this last time, I don't consider that telling on nobody.
What the fuck?
Hey, that's telling?
All right.
I'm asking you saying, is that telling?
Can I explain myself?
That's a yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, and let me
want to see how?
Yeah, go ahead.
You police Why you painting a picture for it? It's the streets.
What'd he say? He said somebody's name? I'm asking a question. I ain't defending the name. I'm asking you a question.
Yo, hold on. Just listen.
That nigga some bullshit.
Look.
So again, deflecting. Now it doesn't matter if he identified what he was wearing. Did he say his name? It's just every excuse in the book. And honestly, I wonder if Big Bank was thinking to himself, maybe I shouldn't have done this, because now I'm looking some type of way for just coming up with excuses for everybody. He didn't say a name, but he identified what the shooter was wearing. Like that's not snitching. It doesn't count. You know what I mean? And this is exactly what 6ix9ine wanted.
But I also heard Big Bank say, I ain't defending nobody. I'm just asking. You know, he said that. I think he said that a few times. We gonna watch and see, but he's saying, I'm not defending nobody. I'm not taking up for nobody. I'm asking you a question.
6ix9ine paid him to be on his platform instead of the other way around. This is exactly what 6ix9ine wanted. He wanted somebody highly respected that sides with all of these guys to come through and try to defend them while he points out every flaw in their argument to their face.
Red. The pictures claims Ben and Carter were both wearing red.
Ben and Carter were both wearing red.
No,
Oh my God, he says the names.
that ain't what he said.
That ain't what he
See
said.
that what he said?
The pictures claims Ben and Carter were both wearing red. The night Jasmine Lynn was shot.
Let me hear it again.
Wait, hear it
He
again?
said,
He said that ain't what he said, and he plays it again. He's Ben and Carter.
what? The police said it. Gunna ain't say that.
Oh man, yo, I love that
Did Gunna
you
say
watching
that?
this in real time.
I'm just asking a question, my nigga. I'm not here to defend no nigga, bro. Whoever
There
wrong
he
they
is. He said, he
Man,
just said it.
he's
He
saying
said,
that.
I'm not here to defend no, you know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like he's taking stock. He's just trying to clear up some things, see what it is, what's what. But I also think it's messed up that he said, man, it's because you Mexican and you talking on black people shit. I mean, it really don't matter what color you are. You know what I'm saying? It's basically who's being called this, and they all did the same thing, and who's being called the worst, and who did what the worst. But let the streets tell it. Let the people that's in the streets tell it. Talking is talking. Snitching is snitching. It's not a level to it. You know what I'm saying? If you talk to these people, then you automatically called a snitch.
Gunna said Ben and Carter were both wearing red. He said, but he ain't say that. The police, this shit just, you know, it writes itself. And this is why you have so many people that were never in the streets that are like, yeah, the streets is washed. And you have a lot of people that were in the streets and they're like, I'm getting far away from this shit. Cause the rules are different. I don't think I'm able to be like, oh yeah, I come from no, I don't come from the 90s. I was born in the 90s. I have no idea what life was like in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. I don't have any idea what the streets were like in the early 2000s. I wasn't in it, you know. I started wilding out like really like 08, 09, you know, maybe 07 at the earliest. I was like 13, but I don't have an idea of what anything was like before that, when the shit was supposed to be real and people would actually get whacked for snitching. Like I never experienced that. I never saw that. If I'm being honest, I never saw that. And to see somebody like Big Bank, who was alive and in the streets back then and doing his thing back then, letting this shit go like it ain't nothing. It just goes to show you the generation shit doesn't really matter. It's just
It's all been the same. The only thing that's different now is people got the internet to expose these things, but it's always been the same. I mean, there's people that's gonna talk whatever. You know, somebody find their paperwork and find, oh yeah, he did say something. It's always been the same. The only difference is now you have the internet to where people can go online and just basically expose it right then and there. That's the only difference. When it used to back then, before this internet, stuff, it used to take a minute before people will find out who said what happened actually, you know what I mean? So that's the only difference.
It's always been picking and choosing. It's always been, nah, he didn't say it. It was the, you know, it was the reporter or the police said it. You know, even with the Larry Hoover situation. The newspaper said Hoover identified the people that shot him. But everyone said, oh, Hoover didn't say it. The news said it. The news is lying. The news, it's whatever excuse can be brought up. Same thing with Gucci Mane. They said, oh, Gucci Mane didn't snitch. His security snitched. His security were ex-police. But the paperwork breaks down, no, Gucci is the one that said it. His security wasn't even in the room. So people will come up with excuses for whoever they favor before they even know the facts, just because they can't let it happen. They can't let their idol be on the same level as 6ix9ine.
We knew Gunna wasn't no gangster when he told
But
the
everybody
first
knew
time.
that though. That shit been out. That
But
shit
you
been
just
out.
said Gunna didn't rap.
I ain't think he did.
Yo,
I
this
ain't
shit
never
is
listened
crazy.
to it, bro. I'm gonna keep it a break. I ain't never.
He had to step in the pool for that bullshit. He said, y'all knew this, da-da-da. Banks said, yeah, everybody knew that. And then he said, but you said he didn't tell. And then he says, well, I don't think he did. It's, you can't win.
On that, they speaking on two different situations. I mean, he said, I don't think he told, which of course I don't think he told on it. Like I said again, I don't think he told when he was in that courtroom. I really don't. I mean, he was agreeing to shit, but he didn't tell. You know what I mean? So now, just like that video that they just watched. Now, yeah, because he was going through the colors and the hoods and saying names. So yeah, that sounded like he was actually talking.
You can't win. I don't want to disrespect Bank, you know what I'm saying? But there's like a quote or you know, whatever, when it's like, if you argue with a fool, you become the fool. If you argue with somebody in denial, what are you doing besides stressing yourself out? I'm not saying Bank's a fool, but Bank is in denial. And clearly it comes from favoritism. He's not going to go against his own people for 6ix9ine, no matter how much it makes sense, no matter how logical it is, no matter how much proof is put in front of him.
When you sat down with Young Thug, you let him play in your face. You let him lie to you, and I seen where you try to tell him, nah, you did bad. But when you sat with Young Thug, you let him lie to you to control narrative.
Well, lie like what? Bro, you just tell me, bro.
Nah,
You ain't gotta
this
play.
your interview.
So it's weird that he's saying this, because it's almost like he doesn't want 6ix9ine to play the proof for him. He just wants to be able to have a conversation without the facts. So at that point, it's just going to be based on whose memory is better than the other. 6ix9ine's going to say one thing, Bank's going to deny it, be like, that ain't how it went. So 6ix9ine's like, well, fuck that, we're going to rewatch it. No, wait, don't do that. YouTube ain't going to let us, they ain't going to let us do that. Then I
Or why you just be like, I mean, why does it have to go into all that? He could just said, you know, hey man, just tell me what you're saying. We ain't gotta watch it. Just tell me what you're talking about. You know what I mean? See if it can refresh my memory. If not, then we can watch this thing.
Well, this whole interview was posted on Bank's channel. It's not on 6ix9ine's channel. 6ix9ine, I don't even think has a YouTube channel like that. He's doing this shit through Kick or Rainbet or whatever it is. But Bank doesn't want him to show him what actually happened. He just wants to be able to deny it without the proof, which is crazy.
That part of the interview is say, damn, well, you can get these numbers so you get that information. What information did I give him?
So if the audio is trash because 6ix9ine's playing that on a speaker and it's being recorded, he's basically talking about when Young Thug was in the interrogation room and told the officers, look, I make promises, which was like the biggest red flag out of the entire thing when he sat down with the police. That's what he's talking about right now.
So,
Go ahead.
I think Bank might have had somebody sitting there like, hey, if this shit gets bad, call me so we can take a little break.
you say the perfect thing. What makes you think that y'all could trick the police? You know what hear his answer. Hear this stupid ass answer that he said.
Just, I don't understand that. I don't understand. Man, them bitches is smart. Bro, it's just like movies.
That was his answer. You said, what makes y'all think y'all could trick the police? He looked at you dead in your face and said, yo, It's like movies.
But what I supposed to
You
be,
need
what
to
I,
say,
what I
hold on,
supposed to
I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to feel bad for Bank, bro, because I feel like he's up there trying to defend the wrong people. If I'm being honest with you. Bank kept it. When he asked that question, Bank was keeping it real. He was like, you know, you're facing, speaking of Thug, you're facing this controversy because you thought you could spin the police. What makes you think you could spin the police? Like, you should have never had that conversation. And Thug said, movies.
Let's put me and Gucci side by side. Me and Gucci side by side. I changed the non-Trey Blood's life, right? Gucci Mane changed Pooh Shiesty life. There's videos of Pooh Shiesty right now, not having nothing. Gucci Mane can put in a 1017 chain on him, right or wrong.
Let him cook. Let him cook. He's, you know, 6ix9ine did what he did to 9 Trey to them Billies. Gucci Mane's doing what he's doing to them Memphis hitters.
Now, a couple years later, Pooh Shiesty robbed you. He made a whole song saying, yo, I put money in your commissary. Y'all did this. You did all that and you still signed to me.
Gucci never said your name, though. You responding to Gucci?
Gucci Mane never said my name.
What's your point? What's the point?
So you can't go and say, yo, I did all this for you. Why you do me wrong if I can't say it?
What's the okay? What's your okay?
I changed these niggas' life. They was doing me dirty. So why Gucci? You can't make excuse for Gucci and I make.
Who making excuses for Gucci though?
Again, what 6ix9ine is attempting to do is what Bank is refusing to do. And I've said this like 1,000 times already in this video. He just pointed out exactly what he's trying to point out. Gucci's, you know, everybody's like, oh man, Gucci gave them chains, Gucci gave them money, Gucci gave them fame, and then they went and robbed Gucci. Gucci ain't wrong for snitching. Well, 6ix9ine changed a whole bunch of Billy's lives that were sitting in Brooklyn and wherever else, broke as fuck with nothing going on, had them traveling the world, had them up on stages, this and that, put jewelry on them, whatever. Basically let them live a life they would have never lived if not through him. And then they kidnapped him, robbed him, did what they did to him, and he snitched, but nobody was coming up with excuses for 6ix9ine. And Bank is refusing to even understand how the two things are exactly the same. It's kind of crazy. Now, we're not gonna go through the whole, let me see, how long is it? Damn near 2-hour interview, because it's all the same thing. 6ix9ine is just destroying him with the contradictions, but we are gonna take a look on Instagram because 6ix9ine posted a clip and Wack 100 actually responded to this interview calling out Big Bank. Now 6ix9ine would say he fucked up the moment he sat down, laughed my ass off. Big Bank ATL, nah bro, you cool my black brother, thanks for the interview.
He come from?
I don't know, bro, cause you told on some brothers. You told on some black men and you're a Mexican probably.
Oh, cool. All right.
That's how a nigga probably feel like that.
So he asked him, where does the hate come from? And he's saying it's because he's Mexican and he told on black people.
So this is what I'm saying. So I told him some brothers. Who killed Nipsey? A brother.
For sure.
Who killed Vaughn?
For sure.
A brother.
For sure.
Who killed PNB Rock? A brother.
For sure.
Who killed Pop Smoke? A brother. Who killed Biggie? A brother. Who killed Tupac? A brother. Who killed Slim 400? A brother. Who killed?
Bro, I want to be Martin King.
Shit down, nigga.
Don't say that.
It doesn't matter though, bro. It doesn't matter. None of that matters until you do it. None of that matters because they gonna say, well, that's our business. That has nothing to do with you. That's what I hear when I make videos on people. Well, why are you speaking on us? Why are you speaking on us? Why are you speaking? Well, because it's different when it's somebody else doing it. Now, Wack 100 will post a screenshot saying, I'm glad I've always been a wolf. When I kicked the door in 2021 and interviewed Lil Bro, speaking on 6ix9ine, they ridiculed me. Now they beg the same man for an interview that I told the world I'm gonna do me regardless. 21 Savage, is Big Bank lame for sitting down with 6ix9ine like you said about me? I stay ahead of the curve, download and subscribe, right? This person would say Big Bank was paid for this interview, no other way around it. 6ix9ine needed this interview more than Bank. So he's basically saying that as long as you get paid, you can work with 6ix9ine. But if you do it in any other way, you're lame. And then a lot of other people are agreeing with Wack, saying real shit. Salute Wack, I give you that. 6ix9ine destroyed Bank. 21 gonna duck the question. Facts. I wish Bank never did this shit. So at the end of the day, that's a pretty decent chess move by Wack. Savage, you called me lame for sitting down with 6ix9ine, but now one of the biggest OGs in Atlanta who you sat down with is sitting down with 6ix9ine. What is the excuse? Because he was paid? Because a lot of people also, including myself, gave Kodak Black a lot of shit for sitting down with 6ix9ine. Kodak Black had just shouted me out at Rolling Loud like maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And right before he shouted me out on the stage, he sat down with 6ix9ine. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how you gonna shout me out? Because, you know, back then I was affiliated and you were rocking with the Bloods in prison, but then you came home and did a song with 6ix9ine who put away the same Bloods that you were rocking with. And it didn't make sense to me at the time. And you know, he got paid $1 million to do it. And to a lot of people, that sounds fucking amazing. And then now I look at it in 2026 like, damn, you know what? I feel like I owe Kodak Black an apology. That man got $1 million for that shit. And you got motherfuckers walking next to Gunna and Thug and plenty of other people for free. For free. And then I get any hate for it. And Kodak went and did a song for $1 million and I was hating on him for that? That's my bad. The fuck wrong with me? Am I gonna deny $1 million to go sit down with 6ix9ine right now? Fuck no. Because what difference is it gonna make on my career? I have people hating on me for exposing rats. I have people hating on me for just speaking on shit because I'm white. It's not gonna make a difference in my career because I'm already hated on without even doing that. Now Wack would continue with another post saying, 6ix9ine, great job, keep making these clowns bow down to that which is greater than them. Walk shit down.
Listen, let's walk this shit down. 5 years ago, when I get the call from Act, 6ix9ine want to interview with you. You up for it? For sure. What the streets gonna think about you? Nigga, the streets. When I did it, y'all heard 21 Savage come on there and say, yo, Wack, that was lame. You interviewed 6ix9ine, everybody talking. When this Valley Ninja kicked the door in, when this wolf chose his own path. And to this day, me and little bro, me and Daniel, 6ix9ine, whatever you want to call him, we straight, we tight, we solid. Now I look up, Big Bank's go on there. I want to hear all y'all call him a lame because there's no reason to talk to 6ix9ine. He ain't did nothing new but continue to grow and flourish in his career. It ain't been no new this or new this. The people still in jail. Mel Murder out, ain't said nothing, did nothing, ain't gonna do nothing. Over there trying to figure out where he gonna get his next meal. Listen, man, out there to the kids. What the streets is telling you to do, what you can do, what you can say, what you can't say. You do what you do.
So that's that part we played in the beginning. But I mean, let's you know, he's comparing himself to what 6ix9ine, comparing himself to what Gucci did and what he did. So I want to look at this thing right here. I already got it pulled up. What they did to 6ix9ine. You see, okay, members of the 9 Trey Gangsta Blood that 6ix9ine was supposed to be affiliated with. What does it say? 9 Trey or Treyway kidnapped, robbed, pistol whipped the rapper Daniel Hernandez, Tekashi 6ix9ine. In July 2018, he was abducted at gunpoint in Brooklyn after leaving a video shoot, then beaten and robbed. His life was threatened by members after his reputation began to change, leading to his federal cooperation. Okay, now they said that he, these people was like threatening him. You know what I'm saying? Threatening his mama, his family. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, that I believe one of them ended up sleeping with his girlfriend, his baby's mama. Now he's like lacing them up. He's like traveling. They traveling with him. They supposed to be his muscle. You know what I'm saying? He got these boys dripped out, everything. A lot of this stuff, uh, uh, these names we wouldn't have never heard of if it wasn't for 6ix9ine. You know what I mean? So yes, what he did, he went on there and he cooperated because, or he testified because what they did to him, I think anybody would have done that. Same thing for Gucci. The same damn thing for Gucci. I mean, this man is thinking everything is cool. Like I say, he thinking they probably finna take pictures, of his artists being, they getting together. They finna maybe make a song or take pictures of him and Shiesty being together. He didn't think that it wasn't no smoke because he had a photographer, I think an engineer, and there was some other people. He wasn't thinking it was no smoke, but Shiesty's now mind, his daddy and all that. I don't know what they had going on. You know what they was planning on doing. Well, they knew, we already know what they was planning on doing because they did it. But that was probably the furthest thing from Gucci's mind. You know what I'm saying, when it happened. Now, it would be a big difference if Shiesty called him on some old gangster, like, hey, you know what, this here, I'm not having it. I'm not having this. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with that. I hate the way you did my cousin, yada yada yada. And then Gucci just pulled up like, it wasn't nothing. Then I could see that. Okay, so if you go back, going back to this Gucci thing, if you go and you read Gucci's book, man, they saying that Shiesty did this because he was upset about Gucci and the way Gucci did his cousin when his cousin passed, Big Scar. Okay, if you go and read that book, man, Gucci like really was riding for Scar, man. He was trying to help him in so many ways, man. And for him not to produce like he was supposed to be producing, I mean, and then he's out doing what he did, what cost him his life. I mean, what do you expect Gucci to do? I mean, how what would you do? I mean, he paid for the funeral, but everybody was talking about it was after all the backlash and stuff, but he still paid. He did something. Then they mad because he asked for the chains back. I just don't understand that. But my point, what I'm trying to make is Gucci did what he did. He probably told them what happened because he had no choice, you know. He probably didn't have no choice in the matter. And they probably was gonna tell him, hey, we got everything on video anyway, so it doesn't matter if you say anything or not, you know. So he went on ahead, and I think what did he do? Just basically describe what they was wearing, you know. I don't know, but I feel like, man, I don't see him really as a big bank. I don't see him really kind of coming to the defense of everybody because he said he's not trying to defend nobody. If you did it, you did it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he was trying to cover up for 21 or a thug or nothing like that. He told him, if you wrong, you wrong. You did it, you did it. You know, there's no difference. But the one thing that he did say was, oh, you a Mexican and you speaking on black people's stuff. Nah, man, it don't matter what color you are. They all in the same profession. They all supposed to be gang. So in that situation, you know, you claiming this stuff right here, you trying to be hard and everything else. You're not supposed to be talking. Well, they all talk. Thug talk. Thug had a 3-hour interview with them people without an attorney. So come on, man. And now they're saying F the streets. It was F the streets a long time ago. They just wasn't rapping like that. They wasn't out there living like that. And if they was out there living like that, they wouldn't be online in these songs like he was saying, hey, I call Woody. I call Woody and he'll get it done. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these rappers, I call such and such and they get it done. Okay, why you gotta call them if you such just badass? Why you won't go out and do it yourself if you so bad, if you so tough, if you so gangster? Go do it yourself. Don't call nobody else. Hey, you guys, let me know what y'all think down in the interview about this. Comments about y'all, what y'all thought about this interview right here. I really don't feel like Banks was trying to defend anybody. You know, I don't feel like that, and I don't feel like 6ix9ine did anything wrong, man. Look at what them boys did to him, man. Just look at what they did. And think about that. What if it was you that your so-called partners did you how you thinking that these are your partners. You put money in their pockets and everything and they did that to you. So what would you do? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments about this interview. And I believe that this full interview is on Big Bank's his little YouTube channel. I think it's something perspective, something I can't even remember the name of it. But yeah, y'all check out the interview. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Until then, I'm out. Y'all have a blessed day.